Hey guys, welcome back to another Take 5. This one's going to be about casting. Casting is something that you do in order to get a reference to another class or another current actor in the game. Um, and you can do casting in C++ as well. It's actually very similar in C++ as it is in Blueprint. Um, so let's just say, for example, go ahead and open up a simple actor that is not the pawn or the controller. So if you have none, then just go out here and create a blueprint class and do an actor. The um, the actor class, open it up, and you should have something that has you should have the event begin play, and you should have a couple other things in there. But on the event begin play, let's just go ahead and take this off here. So on the event begin play, what we're going to do is we're going to right click, say get player pawn. So what a cast can do is allow you to access the the class that's in the world. For example, if our pawn has a variable like this value here, for example, on here, this value has a specific, it's pretty specific to this class. It's not going to be in the base pawn because it was added to this pawn specifically. So if we wanted to get that value and we wanted to use it, we would need to cast and get a reference to that class. So for this, what you do is you get player pawn. The player pawn function here is going to get the active current player pawn in the world at that player index. So if you pick 0 and there's only one player, it's going to get that one. So, but what we want to do is then type cast to, and we want to get, what type do we want to cast it to? We want to cast it to the tutorial pawn, right? Not to the default pawn or not to the character. It's the one we're using is the tutorial pawn. So we're going to stick that in here. Now, if this is not a tutorial pawn that it finds, if there is no tutorial pawn in the world, it's not going to find one, and it's going to fail this cast. And so if you only put execution off this line, you're not going to be getting anything from it because it's going to be failing. So what you need to do is just make sure that you're casting to the correct thing, and that you're not casting to some other class, and it should work. For the most part. So really all you have to do is that, and then you can take this and you can say get value now. So we could use that value and we could do something with it in this class specifically, and or we could set it. You could do set value, and we'd be able to change the camera speed or the rotation speed that I was using in the previous video for the cameras right through a different actor, like from some other actor. You can also just take this, right click it, and hit promote to variable, which allows this class to have now a reference of it. And you could say like pawn reference, and then you've got a reference that you can use later on during some other functionality without having to do another cast. It helps if you know you're going to be using a reference a lot in this class, you might want to make a reference. If not, then just do a cast and don't do a reference. And if you don't need to get it multiple times and have it ready like a lot, then just use casts and do something specific off the cast or call a function from the pawn, things like that. And a lot of times this casting can be set up inside of like something called a function library, which is basically a library of functions that you can create that can be called from anywhere. So they're not tied down to any specific class. And a lot of times, if I want to do this get pawn, I'll actually do this inside of a function library. And I'm probably going to make another video about function libraries and probably do that at some point. But for now, this is pretty much casting. That's pretty much all you got to do. Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.